Okay, what is the value of a peace dollar? Well, I'm going to do a little coin appraisal of a complete peace dollar collection that I purchased. We're going to talk about the values. We're going to talk about the coin. So stay tuned. Here's my website, portsmouthcoinshop.com. And I have a lot of inventory up. I have 90% coins. I have graded coins. I'm always adding coins. Something that people don't consider in an appraisal. When you're selling coins to a dealer doesn't just look at the gray sheet and offer you back a bid, or look at PCGS and offer you something less than that. A dealer also says in his mind, my time's money. I have to sell these coins, so therefore I either have to take pictures, I have to list them online, I have to deal with the customers, I have to hold my money in these coins until I do find a buyer. In this market right now, things sell pretty quick, but that's not always the case. But that still doesn't mean it doesn't take time. So when a dealer's doing an appraisal, that's part of the appraisal that's took off the price of that coin that they're paying for it. So that's very important to note. Also, I want to dispel a couple things here that I hear online about 1922 high reliefs and the Liberty on a peace dollar. The V in the Liberty is completely normal. That's the way it was designed. That's what it's supposed to be. 22 high reliefs, there's less than 10 known, around 10 known or something like that. They're actually proofs, they're matte finishes, and they are high relief, meaning you can have the nicest coin or the grayest looking coin in the world or whatever color it is, it's not going to be a 1922 high relief. Those coins aren't just floating around for you to find. But case in point, we'll take a look. This is what it looks like right here. It looks like sandblasted proof, but it's a matte. And the thing about this is this is what they're going to look like. I mean, we're talking finite details as far as being a proof coin. Okay, there was an example of a circulated that sold. I have to sign in here, take a look at it. It's very important to study things. Now, when you're looking at this one, okay, they know that it's a high relief based off of diagnostics, okay, and the way it was struck, the fact that it's a high relief coin in the first place, and a lot of these coins have a provenance, okay? When you see this coin, a lot of people are going to think, I have that coin. There's no way. I know what it is. It came from my great-great-grandma. And guys, if you think that, you got to send it off for grading. Don't argue with me or dealers or people in Facebook groups or coin talk groups or whatever it is. Go send that thing off. And then when you get it in that holder and it says it's a matte proof of 1922 high relief, then you got something. Then you can say, hey, I told you so. Anyway, here's the melt value of a peace dollar. That's another thing you take into consideration. But obviously, they sell for more than melt for the most part, unless they're calls and damage. Sometimes they'll sell for, dealers will pay a little bit less. Refineries will pay less than melt value for them. So as we cover that, then I want to get into the gray sheet. The gray sheet literally went up in value from $15 to $18 for common dates to $24. They had to because of the fact that the melt's up, it's been up long enough. But also, silver dollars are selling for over $24 a piece, even if they're circulated, even the common dates. So that had to change. So now we have the first coin that I'm going to show you. I want to do a little coin by coin appraisal is what I want to do. I've kind of show you not so much in the order of the dates and mint marks, but I'm going to go through first and I'm going to show you the 1921, and then I'll work my way through all of my images. I'm just going to go by my images, okay? So first off, we have a AU55 1921 peace dollar, which is a high relief. When you're looking at this coin, it does look the grade, I think. I mean, it's, like I said, some people look at it and think that looks like an extra fine because of this flat area. I did do a video on how to grade a 21. It's not a perfect video, but it can help you out understand about what to look for when you're looking at grading these coins. So then we look at the reverse of the coin, and the reverse is a little bit better, kind of. Lighting's a little bit different. That always affects things too. So gray sheet says this is worth $125. So I paid gray sheet for this one since it's a 21. I think this coin could go for just under $200, maybe a little bit less, but it's hard to tell. I'll put what price I put on it. I'll put maybe an offer, and I'll accept whatever offer that's fair on the coin. And there's a lot of coins in here, so I'm going to move kind of fast. The 1922 mint state 64, and when you're looking at 64s, as far as in the gray sheet's concerned, you're looking at $46 on a 64. So a lot of dealers want to be around the $40 range on them. Sometimes they'll go a little bit further back because they're peace dollars and they're 22s. Sometimes these coins won't sell for much more than gray sheet. And you know, how much do you need to make on a coin? 5, 10, 15, 20. How much is fair to make on a common date coin? And sometimes it's not that much at all. There's the reverse. You know, like I said, it's not a bad looking coin. Then you have a 1923 mint state 65, and this is a nice coin. Now, obviously, it has these marks here. I don't know how someone's going to perceive this coin. I think gray sheet is $85. It is. It's $85 for the common dates. Your 22, 23, 24, and 25. And I think even, let's see, are all $85 in gray sheet. I like to be at around 70 to 80 bucks on these. So that's what I pay for this. So I don't know if someone's going to look at that and say, man, that ain't no 65. I'm not paying, you know, then you're kind of stuck with a coin that might only go for a 64 value. Like I said, it's one of those things where you just play it by ear as you're going along and you're looking through all these coins. So here's a 2465, and it's also in the same problem. You know, you've got some marks and things on it. And when you get on the reverse of it, you also see some more things going on. And so, you know, it's a 65 in the holder. People buy the holder. I mean, that's just the way it is. I know they do, unless it looks extremely bad. And this coin's not extremely bad. I mean, it doesn't look really horrible for the grade. It just has some marks that some people might think it might not be a 65. Here's another. Here's a 25 and a 64. As I said, the common dates are, you know, $46. You'd like to be back of that a little bit. And this is pretty nice. You know, the luster on these coins are so nice that on the uncirculated ones that it's kind of hard to pass them up for a decent price. Also, you know, you can look for VAMs. Some VAMs are worth a lot of money. VAM World's a good place to go. Now, this is a 26, and it's 64. Your 26s are a better year, so they're worth more when you get into these grades. So you're looking at $145 gray sheet on this one here. Thing of it is like I said, you look at the coin and you hope that someone thinks it's a 64. Dealers, literally, if I go to the show with these coins, they will pay me the grade back. They will sell to me the grade back on these coins because they don't respect Annex. Well, I'm a little different, you know, on this one. I think Annex is pretty good on most of their grading. I think are just as good and just as consistent as the rest of them. I mean, we compare coins all the time in my videos. You can see what I'm talking about. And pardon the interruption, but while we're on the subject of coin shows, I took this entire collection to the Kona show last weekend, and I'll tell you the results of that at the end of this video. So you're looking at it, like I said, 145. You try to be back of that a little bit. Of course, then you get the reverse, and the reverse is not as pretty. So whenever the reverse is not very nice, that's part of the price. So you even have to knock a little bit more off on it and hope that someone's like, well, I don't care about the reverse. Because you got to think, you're dealing with a lot of different people, collectors and things like that. A 1927, this is an AU55. It's not a bad looking coin here. Gray sheet on a 27 and AU55, you're looking at around $50, $52 or something like that. So pretty much you try to be at around 40 bucks on this one. And we can look at the reverse of it here. Like I said, you know, the pictures also don't always do the coins justice. And these are my photographs. Here's one, a 1928, now AU58. This coin to me was just ugly. I don't like it, and I don't think it's an AU58 coin at all. I just don't. It's beat up. It's got more wear on it. It's not just got wear on the high points. I just didn't agree with the grade on it. So this one here, an AU58, is $250. But, you know, the thing of it is, it's still a 28, so I went ahead and paid gray sheet for it because it is the key date, and I'll just try to get a little over gray sheet. Like I said, some of these I pay gray sheet for, and some of them I went back on a little bit. Key dates is one of those that I try to stick as close as I can. And here's the reverse of it. Then here's the 34, AU58. And this one here, this is what I'm saying. Look at the differences. I mean, in this one, AU58, it looks like it's uncirculated. So when you're trying to value these, you run into this all the time. You hit brick walls and roadblocks and rough roads, and you're like, man, well, how does this get AU58, and how did that 28 get AU58? We can look at it again. I mean, this is their AU58 for a 28. This is their AU58 for a 34. I mean, this probably should have been uncirculated, but yet look, this right here, this gash. So you're trying to grade these, and you're trying to value them, and you're trying to be as fair as you can. And the guy I bought these off of, he's a really great guy, and he's a friend, and he watches my videos, and you try to be as accurate as you can. So an AU58 for this one's 80 bucks. So when you're looking at the values of these, but is that really scratched or not? You know, I mean, so you try to value it the best you can. and pay a little bit back. Sometimes you might pay a little bit less than what you probably should when it comes down to it, because eventually the coin's going to sell and someone may not agree with me. So I may undervalue it a little bit in my brain, because being a dealer, you're skeptical of some of these grades and these companies. Here's the reverse of the coin. And here is a 35 and mint state 61. Now, this one is, I mean, it's pretty beat up, but it does look like it's uncirculated, but man, it's scuffed up pretty good. But a 35 and 61, gray sheet doesn't list it in a hard copy, but it'll be $80 if you use the online app. And so this one here, like I said, is just a little beat up and probably should have been a 60. Here's the reverse of it. Here's the 1922D. So now we got the mint mark ones. Now the mint mark ones in the 22s and 23s and 24s and 25s have more value to them. This one here is a little rough, has a lot of different what we call railroad track marks on it, but you know, it's still an uncirculated coin. And for a 22D in 62, you're looking at $60 in gray sheet. Then I have the 1923D. It's mint state 60, and to me, you know, that's accurate, but so should the other ones. I don't see, it does have the die cracks. That's another thing. Like I told you before, the VAMs. You just kind of might want to look up for the VAMs. So your 23D is a little bit better out of all of them, but when it gets to 63, it's worth more than the rest of them with the mint mark, the common dates. So it's 63 and 60 in the gray sheet. All right, here's the reverse. Then we have a 26 AU58. Here we are with an AU58 again, an ugly AU58. To me, this coin just, this is what you do. You got a really nice coin, let's say like the 34. You pay back of that a little bit. This one here, you try to pay a fair price, but you know it's probably not going to be the grade. So you're kind of playing with numbers. You're switching numbers around and values around on these coins when you're doing this. You have to. Because, I mean, they may have paid AU58 price for it and maybe paid retail, even if it doesn't look like this, just to get the coin. You know, you don't know. But the point of it is that it's just ugly. I mean, to me, it's not a very good looking coin. So a 26D and AU58 is $55 in gray sheet. You know, and if you have questions, I mean, you can go to PCGS and NGC, but coins and annex holders are not going to sell for those prices for the most part unless they are exceptionally nice. There's no way this is going to go for any PCGS value. I mean, this is going to go for a discount. I mean, I know it will. I'll have to put it on a discount. I'll have to probably pretty much what I have in it. Then you have the 27D, which is an AU50. And AU50 on this one, I can accept that. Okay, but it looks better than the AU58s. And this, like I said, you're beating your head on the wall with these because this is the way it works. It's $110 in gray sheet. I try to be pretty close to the 110 on that. If it looks the grade, like I said, but then you go back and you see the other AU58 and like maybe I overpaid a little bit for them, and that's one of the things you have to think about. What if I overpaid for the AU58 1928, and this one here I have to pay a little bit less? I mean, like I said, it's one of those things where dealers always playing around with numbers in their heads and trying to figure out the best way of buying something, the smart way of buying it, to where they're being fair about it to the person they're buying from, as well as to the people who are going to sell to. And really would want to pass up on some of these ugly ones here. But since the whole collection was for sale as a collection, I couldn't pass up all the coins. But some of them I would have liked to have passed on, because I think some of them almost look like problem coins. So this one here is a 34D AU53, and obviously this AU53, again, looks better than a couple of the AU58s we just saw. So on the value side, 34D AU53. One thing about the gray sheet, it's on the other page when you're looking at some of these. But a 34D and AU53, we're looking at around, $57, $60. So you have to go to your app, because the gray sheet, or at least the hard copy one, the magazine, does not have all these values in them. It doesn't have all the grades, but you can get on your phone and look at the app, and it'll show them for you. And this, here's the reverse of it. It's a nice coin as far as that's concerned. And then we have this one. It's a 22S. It's mint state 61. It's just not that good of a coin. I don't know if I'd even call this coin uncirculated myself. I don't know if the toning was on there before or after it was sent off. Like I said, there's no way in the world. I just think that it's more like an AU coin. It's a 22S and 61. You're looking at a $50 coin. But man, it's hard for me to pay much more than what just a raw coin goes for, honestly. I mean, 30, 35 bucks for this one. Then here's the reverse of it. Not a little bit better. It looks like it might be a little clean right here. It's one of the things you run into with some of these coins. And then you have a 23S, it's AU58. Here's another AU58. And a 23S AU58 is $32. And to me, I think any coin that's in the AU range that's a common date, I think $30 is fair. It's as far as selling it. I mean, it's hard to sell it for more than that, but it's in a holder. Someone paid to have this graded, but values are up now, and it's just kind of a topsy-turvy market at the moment. It's a bull market, definitely, but it's kind of hard whenever you're used to a coin like this and maybe selling for 35 bucks, and now it's got to sell for a little bit more. And even though, it's not really, it's not the best AU58, but it's mediocre. It's not bad. It's probably about your low or end AU58. And here's the reverse. And then we have the 1924S, which is a better date and mint for a 24. And it's actually AU53. And that one you're looking at probably an $80 coin possibly. But, like I said, it's a little beat up. And these coins had a horrible finish. A lot of them did. A little bit of toning up in here. We can look at the reverse of it. Here's the reverse. Like a lot of people might not know this, but the mint mark's down in here. And it's really small. It can be in different positions too. Then we have the 1925S, which is another one. It's good. It's a common date, but with the mint mark, it's not so common. And this one here is an AU55. You're looking at probably around a $50, $45 coin. And you can look at the coin itself. It's not too bad. It looks the grade to me. I can deal with that one. Here's the reverse. And then we go on to the 1926S, and this is a mint state 61. And see, I can accept this. Here's some die marks. Here's a little die crack. Probably would be a good idea to look it up on VAMworld to see what VAM it is. But like I said, most VAMs are not going to add a lot of value to it, but I know people think that's fun. That's exciting to them, and that's a good thing. There's nothing wrong with looking for those kind of coins and varieties and things. So a 1926, a mint state 61, we're going to be around, $55 is what it looks like it is. And then we'll look at the reverse. This is a pretty nice reverse on this coin. This is one of those coins you don't mind, buying. It looks nice and looks the grade. Then you have a 1927S, AU58. Here's another AU58. You be the judge on whether this is a 58 or not. I mean, it's supposed to be from just a small amount of wear on the highest points. But boy, I'll tell you what, some of these really take the cake on it for me. So you got a 27S and AU58. It's $105 in gray sheet. So, you're looking at probably trying to do about 90 bucks on the coin, since it is a better date and mint. And here's the reverse. Not too much of trouble with the reverse. It's not too bad. Then we have the 35S. This one here it's an AU50, I think. I think it almost looks like someone switched the coin out. It almost looks very fine. But yeah, I go ahead and I pay close to gray sheet because I paid up on a little bit on the other coins. And that's just how it has to work. But man, this coin does not even look AU at all. And it has these lamination. I don't know how I even sell it. I think this is one of them that I'd crack out and sell as raw. Maybe sell it for, I don't know, 30 bucks. As far as in the gray sheet's concerned, a 35S and AU50 is an $80 coin. And there's no way in the world I basically paid $65 for it, and I probably shouldn't. So like I said, it is what it is, and you look at the reverse, it doesn't look like an AU. I don't know. That's just me. I don't think it is. Then we go to the 28S. It's a nice coin, another AU58. And see, I've got a handful of AU58s from different years and mints, but obviously not every year they are equal as far as die finish and all that. But, here it is. I mean, it still looks decent. It almost looks like it could be uncirculated. About this one here. So a 28S in AU58 is $100. But it's a nice coin, so I'd basically try to be at around the $100 mark on this one. And here's the reverse. Of course, then when you look at the reverse, you're thinking, well, should I have done that? Look how weak it struck, and look at the collar and the toning. So you got this real nice obverse, and then you turn it over, and you got this reverse. Yeah, like I said, it affects the value. It affects how dealers do things. And you got some abrasions on the holder, and that's another thing that kind of holds things back. Like I said, as a dealer, you do the best you can, and you hope that you get the deal. but that's just the way it works. So here we go. Extra fine 45 34S. Now I don't have to tell you 34S is to me like a key date because it's just worth money when it comes to the higher grades. The higher it goes, the more it's worth. This one here is, like I said, extra fine 45, and when you're looking at a 34S and extra fine 45, you're getting close to where that jump grade. Because in AU50 it jumps to 260, so extra fine 40 is 95. So this one's a hard one to buy in this grade. So maybe $100, $90. That's, like I said, it jumps in AU50. But to me, it looks just as much AU as the 35 we saw there, the 35S, I believe it was. So then you look at the reverse, still got a little bit of the feathers. I've seen some AUs that look like this. So, sometimes it's not worth, might be worth the resubmission. I don't know about this one, though. I think that it's fine. Extra fine 45 is what this coin needs to be. Okay, so as I said, I took these to the Kona show over the weekend, and I sold a few of them. One example is of the 26D in the video that was really ugly. I actually sold it for $48. I paid $40 for it. The 35S, I paid $65 and I sold it for $70. I basically sold them to some wholesalers. I had a lot of people interested in these coins. My offers, they wanted less than what I paid for most of them. I did sell the 65s, and I sold them for $95 plus tax on top of it. And I think I paid $75 a piece for them or something like that. So I made a little bit of money on some of them. I still have most of them. They'll end up going up on the website. So that's how it works, So I literally paid $1,645 for the whole collection. I'm hoping maybe I can make a couple hundred, maybe 300 on it. I don't know. At one point, you think if it's a PCGS holder or NGC holder, you can make 2,000 or better on it, but I don't know. I don't think that's going to be possible. But anyways, it's still a good buy. I still like to buy the coins because you have them for inventory, and it gives you something to have at the shows and something to sell, obviously, to people. But I had the 28 and the 21. Nobody wanted those coins, and nobody wanted that 21, and I can't figure that one out because that's a nice coin. Anyways, they passed up on the rest of them. I still have most of them. But thanks for watching my latest video, and hope this helped you value some of your peace dollars and how coin dealers do their appraisals. And have a great day.